thing when we talk about all this, because life becomes dreadfully serious. And it's only this serious person that lives, not these people who seek entertainment, religious or the otherwise.
I had a very interesting occasion to understand what you're saying in class yesterday. I was trying to assist the students to see that the classical understanding of the four causes in operation is that they are non-temporally related.
Yes, sir.
And I said, when the potter puts his hand to the clay, the hand touching the clay is not responded to by the clay after the hand has touched it. And one person who was visiting the class, this person was a well-educated person, and a professor. And this struck them as maybe not so. And I could tell by the expression in the face that there was a little anguish here. So I said, well, my radar says that there's some difficulty going on. What's the matter? Well, it seems like there's a time interval. So I asked them to pick something up that was on the desk, and I said, well, now touch it with your finger and tell me at the moment of the touching with the finger whether the thing reacts to the finger after it's touched. Now, do it. Well, even to ask somebody to apply a practical test like that with respect to a datum of knowledge, like the four causes are is to interrupt the process of education as we've known it. Because you teach a student about the four causes, and he thinks about them. He never goes out and looks at a thing or does anything about it. And so we spent about, well, we were picking the stuff up in class, and we were doing this until finally it seemed like a revelation that what has been said in the classical teaching of it, which of course in modern society is rejected, happens to be the case. And I said, this has to be seen. Watch. This is what you mean.
Yes, sir. Seen, of course.
Of course, of course. But we're back to that step there. Why was that person and so many other students following suit anguished at the point where the practical issue arose? There was a feeling, I suppose, that they were on the cliff.
Right.
And naturally, alertness was required. But alertness registers that we're on a cliff. So therefore, the best thing to do is turn around and run back. Yes, yes.
So I think, you see, we are so caught up in words. To us, the word is not the thing. The description is not the described. To us, the description is all that matters. Because we are slave to words.
And to ritual.
Ritual and all the rest of it.
Yes.
So, when you say, look, the thing matters more than the word, and then they say, how am I to get rid of the word? How am I to communicate if I have no word? You see how they've gone off? They're not concerned with the thing, but with the word.
Yes.
And the door is not the word. So, when you are caught up in words, the word door becomes extraordinarily important. And not the door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't really need to come to terms with the door, I say to myself, because I have the word.
Exactly.
I have it all.
So that's what education has done this.
Mm-hmm.
A great part of this education is the acceptance of words as an abstraction from the fact, from the what is. All philosophies are based on that. Theorize endlessly how one should live. And the philosopher himself doesn't live.
Yes, I know. Especially some philosophies that have seemed to me quite bizarre in this respect. I've asked my colleagues from time to time, well, if you believe that stuff, why don't you do it? And they look at me as though I'm out of my mind, as though nobody would really seriously ask that question.
Right.
But if you can't ask that question, well, what question's worth asking?
Right.
Yes. And I was thinking about that marvelous story you told in our previous conversation about the monkey while you were speaking about this. When she shook hands with you, nobody had told her how to shake hands.
No, it's stretched out.
Yes.
And I took it. No.
Wasn't something that she was taught how to do through a verbal communication. It was the appropriate thing at the time. Without anyone measuring its appropriateness.
Quite.
Isn't that something? Yes, I can't tell you how grateful I am to have been able to share this with you. I've seen, in respect to my own activity as a teacher, where I must perform therapy even on my language, so that I don't give the student an occasion for thinking that I am simply adding to this endless chain, link after link after link. There are two therapies here, then. There's the therapy that relates to words, and that flows out naturally. It's not a contrivance.
No.
It flows out naturally, if I've understood you correctly, from the therapy within. Now, this relates directly, as you were saying earlier, to meditation. Are we ready, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's too complicated. We must go.
I don't mean right now, but maybe in one of our next conversations
we must discuss several things yet, sir.
Yes, before
what is
we...
love, what is death,
Exactly.
what is meditation, what is the whole movement of living. We've got a great deal to...
Oh, I do look forward very much to that. Splendid. Right.